Today we'll be installing the sealed ball bearing headset from Faffel 408 into the standard Crazy Cart. You're just going to need some basic tools. First one's going to be a 6mm Allen wrench for the steering wheel of the cart, an adjustable crescent wrench to remove the headset itself, and then what we're going to use today for removing the headset cups or the bearing cups will be a flathead and a hammer or mallet. The professional tool would be the headset remover, but since not a lot of people would have this one, we'll just be using a flathead for this removal. So your removal process may be slightly different than ours since we have a brushless motor currently installed in here, so the wiring might look a little different. But the first thing you want to do is disconnect the motor from your controller, and then you'll have a little tunnel on the other side here, and you want to pull the wire through it so then the motor wire is free from the frame of the cart. So we're going to loosen the top of the steering wheel with the 6mm. Remove that once you get it loosened. Another tool to remove the headset would be a 36mm socket, but if you don't have that, then you could always just use the crescent wrench here. So this is a double nut system, which is standard in any type of threaded fork. Our headset is also a threaded headset, so then it also uses the double nut style, which is same as the factory one. Some people have been using a threadless headset, which only uses one nut for the top, and we don't recommend that as it's not safe to use. So once you get that top nut broken off from the bottom one, you could loosen that. And then there'll be a washer next. After that, go ahead and loosen the bottom nut, which is also the bearing race, so then the bearing actually sits into this bottom nut. After that, you go ahead and lift the cart up and make sure that you've freed the wire from the frame, because what we're going to do is we're going to lift the cart up and remove the whole bottom fork, like so. And if you still have the factory pegs, you can just rest the cart on the pegs. If not, maybe put a piece of wood under the cart. So after that, you'll just have one of the bearings on the top. Go ahead and take that off. The bottom bearing should probably come out with the fork. So now we're going to remove the cups. What you're going to do is just get in there with the flathead. You're going to rest it on the top of the bottom race first. Go ahead and give it a light whack with the hammer. First I did this side, and now I'll do the opposite side. And you just go back and forth gently until it comes out. And next we're going to do the top one. It might be easier to lift the cart or flip the cart around, but since I'm going to try to show it to you on video, I'll just leave it as is. So there's the top one, and now your frame's ready for the new headset. So installing the new headset cups, the top one will be the blank, and the bottom one will have the Faffel 408 engraving. When installing the new cups, these are made out of aluminum, so we don't recommend hammering directly onto the cups unless you have a rubber mallet, or if anything, you can use the old headset to in between the hammer and the new headset. Okay, once you just get the cups in, you can just place the bearings in there. So now when we get to the fork itself, we're going to remove this bottom race here because the headset will come with the new one, and it has a different taper to it because this one will be made for sealed ball bearings and this is for the loose ball bearings. So we're just going to use a flathead to get this off. What you're going to want to do is lay the fork on a flat side here. Lay the flathead screwdriver up against the flat piece here, and then we're just going to hammer it at an angle, and it'll just take a couple light whacks. Alright, and there's the bottom race. So the one that comes with the headset, the new headset, will look just like this. And that will go in place of the one you just removed. This one has a slit in it, so then you can just slide it right on. You don't need to hammer it. And then we'll take that bearing from the bottom, put that in, like so. And we'll go ahead and put it back into the cart. So now that we're back at the cart, we'll go ahead and lift the frame back up, slide the fork under, and drop it into place. So now the only things you should have left is 3 parts, which is the bottom nut, the washer that goes in between the two, and the top nut. So the first thing we're going to do is put the bottom nut in. Like so. And then now you're going to want to hold the frame in place, grab the bottom of the fork, and give it a tug. You're going to want to push it left and right, and also side to side, to see if you feel any wobbles. If you do, go ahead and grab your crescent wrench, tighten this some more, and try again. After that, go ahead and lift the cart up so the wheel's off the ground, and try to push the fork so it can rotate. If it rotates freely, then you're okay. If it binds a little bit, that means that the nut might be too tight and you want to loosen it up just a little bit. After that, we're going to put that washer in there and put on the top nut. And now the top nut is basically a double nut locking system. This one will keep the bottom one from backing out over time. So after you get that top one tightened in there, you want to test again, make sure that the wheel spins freely. And if it does, you're done. All you need to do is put that steering wheel back on, reconnect your motor wire, and you're ready to go. One reason why you want to use a threaded headset versus a threadless headset is that you have this double nut locking system, so then you don't have to rely on the steering wheel to keep that bottom nut from backing out. Since this top one does that, you can put that steering wheel at any height you want and not have to worry about that. If you're running a threadless headset, you always have to keep that steering wheel at the very bottom to keep that bottom nut from backing out.